Billion-Dollar Loser, by Reeves Weideman. This summary is brought to you by Hook My Book. WeWork is a company that rents office space to startups and other businesses. Founder Adam Neumann was set to make a lot of money when the company went public, but things went wrong. The company's capital was built on promises that it was more than just a real estate company, but it turned out to be just that. Veteran journalist Reeves Weideman tells the story of WeWork and Neumann's rise and fall. WeWork has become one of the largest office tenants in New York City, and second in London only to Her Majesty's government. Its revenue has more or less doubled every year for a decade, and Neumann has raised more than $11 billion of investment capital. WeWork promised community to post-recession millennials entering the workforce, but it ended up fracturing because its CEO, Adam Neumann, was a charismatic but ruthlessly ambitious entrepreneur. In the past decade, he rode the longest economic expansion in American history while telling anyone who questioned his risky growth strategy that he wasn't playing by traditional business rules. Now, in the decade's final turn, he's racing to the finish line. WeWork is running out of money and Neumann has tapped out the world of private capital and racked up hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. He's preparing to take WeWork public, the only viable path to continue its growth, as well as an opportunity to cash in on what he and others at WeWork have built. Neumann's company spent so much money expanding around the world in 2018 that it lost nearly $2 billion, and even his employees didn't know exactly what it meant to say that they were now trying to elevate the world's consciousness. Adam Neumann struggled throughout his teenage years, but he found stability and confidence when he started taking driving lessons from a driving instructor named Ari Eigenfeld. Eigenfeld was worried that Neumann might be too charming for his own good, and he declared after watching Neumann drive that he had two paths open to him: either he would end up in jail, or he would become a millionaire. Neumann overcame his difficult upbringing by working hard and using his intelligence and charisma to succeed. In the mid-2000s, the internet was starting to be widely used, and Facebook was becoming more popular. Adam decided to start a business manufacturing high-heeled women's shoes that turned into flats, and he came up with the idea while doing women's studies fieldwork. However, when the first samples of the shoes arrived, they were unusable because of the buttons and the legs. Adam struggled to make sales and pay his employees, and he eventually decided to quit his degree at Baruch and focus on crawlers full-time. WeWork is a company that rents desks to freelancers for a monthly fee. They were founded by Adam Neumann and Miguel McKelvey. They were looking for a space to start their business, and they met Joel Schreiber, a real estate developer, at a bar. Schreiber agreed to invest $15 million into the company in exchange for a third of the company. In 2010, Adam Neumann and Miguel McKelvey founded WeWork in a building in Soho. At the time, the real estate market in New York City was in a slump, and WeWork was one of the first companies to emerge from the recession. To compete in the market, Neumann and McKelvey designed the company around being more than just an office space. They emphasized the idea of community and transparency, and designed the company's logo to symbolize this. WeWork quickly became popular with young entrepreneurs, and as the company grew, it became difficult to keep up with the demand for space. In recent years, WeWork has faced some allegations of sexual harassment and illegal behavior. Despite these allegations, the company continues to be successful. Adam Schreiber convinced David Czar to lease 348 Fifth Avenue, and WeWork took over the advertising space. When Adam wanted to advertise WeWork as a community, Miguel pushed back, saying that calling yourself a community was a distinction that had to be earned. With Miguel managing WeWork's build-out, Adam began to form a back office staffed in large part by his friends and family. His cousin-in-law, Chris Hill, came from wholesale produce distribution to become WeWork's chief operating officer. The Kabbalah Center helped raise Adam Neumann and Rebecca Neumann's social and economic standing in New York City, and WeWork's early financial backers included people who were involved in the Kabbalah Center. In 2012, Adam told a New York real estate publication that Kabbalah itself was the inspiration for WeWork. WeWork rented out the Box nightclub on March 1, 2012 to celebrate their second anniversary. The night included a magician and beer and liquor sponsors. Adam, the founder of WeWork, gave a speech about their new slogan, the physical social network. He said that until now, WeWork has been a boutique office space, but starting tomorrow they will be the world's first physical social network. This network is important because it can help connect people from all over the world. Benchmark, a company that invested in WeWork, brought new expectations for growth to the table. Adam tried to motivate his co-founder Miguel by transferring equity, but Miguel was resistant because he wanted WeWork to grow slowly and carefully. Benchwork and Miguel reached an agreement in which Miguel turned over a portion of his stake in WeWork to Adam in exchange for continued equal partnership. In 2013, WeWork moved into a new headquarters after years of bouncing around from one floor to another inside the company's half-finished spaces. The new office at 222 Broadway had several appealing features, such as occupying 2 floors and having Adam's office looking down upon an atrium where his 200 employees milled about. Across the street was an even more personally satisfying view, the building where Adam once begged Stella Templo to help him stay in the country. Adam was also tickled to find out that WeWork's new space had been used as the set for the movie Wall Street. The author discusses how the commercial real estate industry is changing and how a company called Reeves is leading the way. Reeves is a company that started out in Belgium in the late 1980s and has since expanded to 25 countries. They offer furnished offices to whoever needs them, and their focus is on bringing a sense of community to shared spaces. This is an important concept because it shows how businesses can adapt and change with the times. While speaking to a group of WeWork members in 2015, Miguel admitted that they still didn't know what would happen when the economy dipped. He thought the company offered something valuable, but WeWork didn't have a magic trick that would allow it to subvert the economics of the business it was in. There's nothing that we do that isn't in line with what everyone else does, Miguel told the group, before seeming to realize this wasn't the most compelling pitch. When he tried to offer an example of how WeWork separated itself from other office space operators, he mentioned how much fun people had at its recent Halloween party, where Busta Rhymes performed. WeWork's competitive advantage, it seemed, was knowing how to put on a good show. In early 2017, WeWork announced that it had raised $10 billion in new funding. The round was led by Adam Neumann and included firms like Fidelity Investments and Blackstone Group. After this round of funding, WeWork said that it was profitable and that it would not need any more funding before an IPO. However, later in the year, WeWork said that it was moving to a new headquarters and that it had signed a deal with The Guardian, a British newspaper, to take over the entire space. WeWork's largest single tenant became WeWork's largest single stockholder. WeWork's renovations to its new space were not finished, and The Guardian moved into the space while the renovations were done. Shortly after this, WeWork's CEO gave a speech where he boasted about WeWork's success. This led to tension between WeWork's employees and its CEO. In December of that year, WeWork's CEO went missing for a few days and was later found at another part of the camp. WeWork is a company that had a lot of trouble with their workers. They have been accused of not paying their workers fairly, not providing them with benefits, and even firing some of their workers without just cause. WeWork is a company that has been in the news for a lot of bad reasons lately. They have been investing in small companies, and it has been revealed that these investments have not been successful. In August 2019, WeWork announced that they were going to be filing for an IPO, and many investors were not happy about this. The data in their prospectus revealed that the company was losing a lot of money, and the co-COO resigned in response. After the bailout from SoftBank, the company's valuation was only $8 billion. End of the summary. Thanks for listening.